What's up, guys? Here it is, the all-new 2022 Yamaha R7. This is the first R7 that's coming to our shop, and it is sold to Jackie. But before Jackie comes and picks this bike up today, I want to give you a walk around of this bike. I'm actually going to jump onto it and tell you what I feel as far as ergonomics goes, as far as the actual seating position. I'm just going to give you a general first impression of this neat new machine from Yamaha. And I gotta tell you, when this bike first rolled out to the showroom floor yesterday, I thought it was sexy. It's a really neat machine. Yamaha's done a great job of putting this thing together. It looks super, the front end of this thing is just dialed. It looks so good. The tank is interesting. It's instead of a traditional sport bike tank that's, you know, fatter and wider, kind of at the top and tapers back, it's more of a long tank. It's kind of elongated, if you will. As far as the stance goes, it has a nice sporty stance, and the motor. I spent a lot of time on the Yamaha T7, and this parallel twin motor really has, the only way I can express it is it's probably the easiest to ride of any motorcycle that I've ever ridden. It's definitely the easiest adventure bike that I've ever ridden, but the actual motor itself, since I rode that T7, I've also ridden an MT-07. And then I jumped up and rode the MT-09, and just this platform right here, this 700cc twin cylinder motor, it's just so easy to ride. Now I think the reason for that is the fact that the power is so linear. There's not really a curve, if you will. It's really smooth from the very base all the way to the top. You can be in third gear, idle it all the way down, and then twist the throttle, and it picks up and goes. It just doesn't care. But man, the fit and the finish of this machine right here, I think Yamaha absolutely killed it. Again, seating position is phenomenal. I love the styling of the front end. Coming around here to the side, the motor is nice and compact, so you don't feel like you're really stretched out on this thing. It feels like a small package. The exhaust pipe being just this little tiny thing back here, not some big bulbous can. I really like that feature as well. The wheels look good, the swing arm is beautiful. They've done a lot of great things to make this bike look good, and I bet it's gonna perform even better. So let's come on in here and just take a quick gander around this thing. I love that single headlight right there. I think it looks so good. Okay, and take a look at how big those brakes are. It's gonna stop this thing on a dime. There's that exhaust pipe that I was telling you about. So the catalytic converter is ginormous on it, but the amount of pipe that we see sticking out from the outside, it's minimal, and I love that. Passenger pegs can easily be removed. There's just two bolts right there, so you can pop those off. That'll completely clean up that lower section right there. And then here's that swing arm I was telling you about. Man, this thing looks gorgeous. The wheels look great. Tail-tied kit on this thing will be kind of interesting because that's a lot of action hanging off the back right there. Up here in the cockpit, really nice setup. I really like the way they put this thing together. As you might be able to see in that description I gave you, that fuel tank is really long, longer than I imagined. Comes back and then kind of sweeps back here. Nice spot to be able to tuck your knees in. Again, ergonomics and comfort on this thing are super nice. Man, Yamaha, you did a great job with this R7. Super stoked. Back here, I have a little storage compartment. Takes the key to get into it. It's a nice feature. And we have a full detailed breakdown of the R7, my thoughts about the R7, and I'll have a link to that video in the description down below. Also tease it up here in the cards as well, but man, this thing is just hot looking, and I wanted to give you guys an opportunity to take a look at it. More of an actual in the shop look at this bike rather than the pictures that you see online. So oil changes are pretty much the only thing you're gonna have to do on this thing for a really long time. If you take a look inside here, we have the drain plug there at the bottom. Then we have the oil filter right there accessible, and the plastics are open underneath it. So you should be able to do an oil change without even having to remove the plastics. That's a huge benefit. Again, that radiator is huge, just back here above the front tire, so damage there will be super minimal. But look at the amount of air that this bike's gonna get directly onto the motor, and that's gonna shoot that air out and around this motor so that your legs stay cool. That's awesome. Just a quick look at the suspension setup and kind of how they did that with the linkage down there at the bottom. It's kind of neat. Chain and sprocket setup. Tire information's hidden back behind the foot peg. Kind of interesting. Kind of difficult to see and get to, but moving your head around, you can position yourself to be able to see the numbers, but from the outside, you can't even see it's there at all. It's kind of a neat feature. Whoa, that's a cool feature. Take a look at the copper there. So the oil filter spins on to that copper spacer, if you will, to help cool that motor down. Oh, that's pretty neat. Of course, the frame is open, so right here, if you wanted to, you could really easily attach some frame sliders. Dude, they really did a good job thinking about all the things that people have traditionally done to sport bikes. We're thinking about what people want or need out of a machine. Loving it. Nice job, Yamaha, on the brand new 2022 R7.